Welcome to the Hockey Nation live show with Coach Frenchy. Simply in the booth. It's Saturday morning, very early. We want to give you a little bit what's happening since like 5 p.m. Eastern Time Friday night until this morning. We have a couple of signatures all around the NHL, but I want to give you three big signatures happening yesterday as a defenseman. And the first one, want to talk about DJ Brodie. Brodie was a 10-year play with the Calgary Flames. You know his role. He's a block man shot, more defensive as compared to offensive side. Did a lot of great things for Calgary Flames. Signed with the Toronto Maple Leaf, where the league was looking for Saint-Delas, Tyson Barrie, and also Cody Ceci. They was looking for add one more defenseman, and they got DJ Brodie with a 4 years contract, 20 million total hit, and then of course it's a 5 million per year. Brodie is a left defenseman, 6'1", 185. He is a 30 years old age. He's always been played 10 years with the Flames. He played an average of 22 minute time on ice, and in career he has 634 game, 48 goal, 218 assists for a total of 266. Again, Brodie, I really believe he's going to be a great add for the Toronto, more on the left side. He's going to play with Morgan Riley. I think he's going to be a great beside as a defenseman number 2. He's always been a defense number 4 inside the organization for the Flames. So good signature for Toronto, and I think that's what Toronto is looking for. Leadership, more character, on ice, off ice. With a signature with Wayne Simon, you can see now Kyle Dubas shifting a little bit what he's looking for, more add leadership inside that team, and of course more physicality. If we're going now to St. Louis Blues, this is the big news happening last night late. The reason why, because this with signature of Torrey Krug getting direction to St. Louis Blues. This is honestly the end of Alex Pietrangelo, captain with the Blues for many years. And I think now St. Louis didn't have an agreement with Alex, couldn't find a way to keep him with the team. So they signed up to Torrey Krug. Torrey signed for 7 years, $45.5 million total contract for $6.5 million. He's a right D, honestly, he's a left defenseman. Play on the left side, but he shot on the right. He's only a 5'9". He's 30 years old. You know what Krug did for the Boston Bruins? Honestly, played 9 years, always been behind Shara on the left side, but for the last maybe 1 or 2 years, he was a little bit more the defense number 2 for the Boston Bruins. He had 523 games, 67 goals, 270 assists, 337 points during his career. He's an offensive player, great on power play. I think it will add, not in a way going to be Pietrangelo, of course, but I think what the departure of Pietrangelo for the Blues is going to be a big part of this organization. So Torrey Krug now is going to be with the Blues for the St. Louis Blues next season 2020-2021. We don't know the close, like for all three players, we don't know they have no close trade or signature bonus. I just go for what I learned from TSN this morning. Then finally, the third one is Christian Tanev, ex-Vancouver Canucks. Looked like Calgary picked up a couple of players from Vancouver. Remember Jacob Markstrom during the day earlier signed a contract with Vancouver and with Calgary, and then now Christian Tanev signed with Calgary Flames for a 4-year contract, a total of $18 million, $4.5 million per year. Again, we don't know the clause, no trade clause. I don't know yet is a bonus, signature bonus, but he's a righty. He's a big guy, 6'2", 190, almost 200 pounds, 30 years old, 20 minute TOI time on ice. He's another veteran of 10 years, and what is really similar, all three players. First of all 30, 31 years old, play always for the same organization for 9 to 10 years, right? Tanev is a great, more defensive player, a little bit similar at Brodie, less offensive side, where I think Brodie can add that quality inside his play, but Tanev is more physical. Now the three players, a little bit three different players, and I want to mention about this to you. Krug, more on offensive players, really based on offensive power play unit. Brodie, more defensive side, but can bring a little bit offensive at the right time. That's how Brodie is. Block shot, can be physical a little bit, but his is more about two-way defensive. I can say defenseman, I can call him, right? Offensive. On this side, more defensive side, very physical, play a lot of minutes for Vancouver, top 4. He has a quality of really playhouse, not much offensive. You can see 22 goals, 48, 67. So you can see on the offensive side, but this is maybe on the 3, the most defensive, great players. And there's the two-way defenseman. So after we got those 3 players, what's next? Now that brings me on Pietrangelo. Alex Pietrangelo become the biggest name on defensive side right now. We heard yesterday, Toronto, Vegas, Florida, all in the mix to get Alex Pietrangelo. I really believe now with the signature of TJ Brodie, I don't think so. Of course they can move a couple of pieces to get Pietrangelo, but I would really be surprised if he's going to Toronto. That gives us now Vegas. Now, if Vegas get Pietrangelo, I think they will have to move one of the top 6 with big contract to give some room. They don't have enough room now. The key may be to get Pietrangelo out at the end into Vegas. It's maybe one he's going to go with Marc-Andre Fleury out. We'll open up a $7 million, and maybe they're going to have another players forward get out also to get that space. What Pietrangelo will get? No, look, 6.5, 5 million, 4.5. He's really on the age of $8 million per year. Honestly, that's what my prediction. Again, it's another players with 10 years, 10 years with St. Louis. Is a 29, 30 years old. We know already what he does. You know, he's a top 3 defenseman in NHL. So I'll be very surprised. Now, here's what I want to talk about a little bit Florida Panthers. Florida Panthers is I believe is maybe the runner-up behind everything. They have space cap. Of course, they have to sign at least one forward. Either they are coming back with Tanev, Hoffman, and maybe Ola. But I think the team we don't talk too much associate with Pietrangelo is Florida. I would be very careful about maybe them. They will be jump on Pietrangelo. So that's what the rumor we heard. Now I want to talk about Taylor Hall. Honestly, it was a really quiet day for the first day of UFA and NHL about Hall. We don't hear anything about him. The rumor, some of them was talking about a couple of teams. Colorado, Montreal, and who knows. The situation with Al is very strange for me. I think Al is really a runner on Colorado. I don't think so. Montreal is going to be one there. They have first a cap space about $5 million, and the way Bergevin was talking last night at his press conference, I think is almost over for big name in Montreal. Now, who's next here? That's one of my biggest questions. Here's what Al can do. I think Al can request 2 years for about $7 to $8 million. He wants to play for a winning team for the Stanley Cup, have a chance to win the Stanley Cup. That's what's my guess about Taylor Al. Could he can sign 5, 6, 7, 8 years? Of course he can. But I think at that moment, Al is looking more about winning versus to long-term shaker. Now, it's very quiet on that side. So we'll see what happens. But I want to come today talking about what happened yesterday. Of course, late last night, about midnight, Corey Crawford signed a contract with New Jersey Devils. That's what surprised me a little bit. So that's maybe Devils thinking about the trust on Blackwood. But again, the NHL season 2020-2021 start in January. I believe that will start in January. It's going to be a hard schedule of back-to-back game and a 3-game and 4 nights. And I really believe that will bring a team need to have 2 good goalies on each of the teams. So we'll see what happens there. This is Coach Frenchy directly and the Hockey Nation live show booth. And we wish you an amazing Saturday. I look forward to seeing you next time. Have a great one.